It is 7 o'clock, and I will call this meeting to order. Bob, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Welcome to the Rockwood Board of Education meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the business of the district, hear reports about our progress, and listen to the community on important issues. We want to remind all of our visitors that we expect the audience to remain civil and respectful at all times as the board conducts its business. We appreciate your cooperation and that you took the time to attend tonight's meeting. First order of business is to approve the agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Signify by saying yes if you agree, no if you disagree.
Yes.
I always struggle with that piece. I can't quite get it right. Okay. 4.03, approval of the Board of Education meeting minutes for August 1st, 2024. I'm looking for a motion to approve the Board of Education meeting minutes for August 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? If not, please signify your approval by yes.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. We do not have any patron comments tonight, correct? 6.01, Superintendent and Board comments. Dr. Kane.
Thank you, President Midyet. The start of the school year is less than 90 hours away. To help prepare for the first day of school, which is on Monday, check out our back-to-school guide on the district website, rsdmo.org. It is full of useful information about school supply lists, changes for the upcoming school year, transportation, communication resources, and much more. We cannot wait to welcome our students, our staff, and our families back for another great year of learning and fun in the Rockwood School District. Nearly 150 new educators, including special school district instructors, attended new teacher orientation at Rockwood Summit last week. That was on August 7th and actually August 7th through August 9th. Our newest educators met with members of central office staff and departmental administrators. They also participated in some icebreakers, engaged in some team building activities, and received valuable tools and information for supporting students. We would like to welcome all of our new educators to Rockwood, and we are absolutely so thrilled and happy to have you as a part of our team. Our annual Meet Me in St. Louis event occurred in Forest Park. That was also last week, and we had more than 300 people gathered to share in an evening of food, fun, face painting, games, and more. The event allowed Rockwood families who participate in the VIC program. It provided them a chance to meet and reconnect with representatives from every single one of our Rockwood schools, as well as representatives from the central office. Meet Me in St. Louis always serves as a fantastic opportunity to help kick off yet another new school year. And on Monday evening, I was honored to be able to celebrate with Molly Klintz and her family at the 2024 St. Louis Regional Teacher of the Year ceremony and reception, which was presented by Education Plus. Molly is a 5th grade teacher at West Ridge Elementary School, and she is the Rockwood Teacher of the Year for this year. And she was honored along with 9 other Regional Teachers of the Year in terms of additional colleagues at that particular ceremony. So congratulations to Molly. Her husband was in attendance as well. And thank you for allowing me to help celebrate you on that particular evening. It was an absolute blast. Each year, the Partners in Education Summer Internship Program provides Rockwood students with career exploration opportunities while allowing them to gain practical, real-world experiences in a field of interest by partnering with business professionals in the area. So in this video, we are going to hear from Eureka High School senior Sarah Shalom Milo, who is working with Webster University Assistant Professor Renee Garcia. And it's a focus on furthering opportunities in career costume design. Let's take a look at the video.
We are currently at the Loretto Hilton Art Center, and we are here for my costume design internship. Well, it's an internship set up by the Partners in Education program, where I get to shadow and intern with a real-life costume designer and just learn the field.
We decided to do the play As You Like It as what we call a paper project, or a for fun or practice project.
You start with pencil, at least that's how I started, doing it just on a sketchbook. Start with a figure. You don't really make the figure and then add the costume, you make the figure with the costume all together. And then you just kind of adjust things here and there depending on what you're doing. A lot of whimsical colors, lots of pinks and light blues and really, I guess, fancy, big, puffy dresses. I like being able to create a character with a costume. I like the fact that I get to express emotions through color and through fabric and like tell a whole story just with a costume.
The more experience you have, the better, you know, and just being able to make educated decisions and not just rely on, you know, what a school is telling you or what a guidance counselor is telling you, but to actually go and talk to other people in the industry, I think is really priceless.
I think from here I know what I need to work on as well. Like, I think I get to experience what it's like as a career, and then I get to learn what I could continue working on in the future. So for college, what classes I should take, what process I need to work on, and I guess just where I want to go moving forward.
That's all I have at this point in time. Thank you, President Vidya.
Board comments?
I have one. I had the opportunity this week to attend the Eureka Chamber of Commerce meeting. Thank you for that opportunity to represent Rockwood. A couple things that came out of that I want to share this evening because it was just poignant to where we are at the start of the school year. They're having, across disciplines, they're having the same issues with hiring. Hiring staff, retaining staff, hiring quality staff. And one of the things that they did, and this really strikes the core of what we do here in Rockwood, is they implemented an MTSS service for their staff because they really acknowledge the wellness of their staff directly relates to the services they can provide at the center. And it made me think about what we need. We value our teachers here so much, and we want to make sure that they know that they are cared for, that we want them to be the best they can be so that they can be the best they can be for our students. So I just want to bring that, it really hit home with me that we're all in this together and that every discipline is experiencing the same issues, but we want our staff to know that we care about them and want to do everything we can, and we hope that they have the best school year they could possibly have.
Thank you, Tammy.
I just want to thank all the staff as they are preparing for our students to arrive Monday morning. Thank you for all your hard work, and best of luck to all of our new teachers. We're looking forward to 30 years of fun with you here in Rockwood, so best of luck.
And I believe many of the board members will be out and about on Monday visiting schools and saying hello, just popping in, but making sure that all of our schools know how much we care and love what they do, and as Carrie said, really appreciate all the efforts.
Can I add one more thing that I actually missed? You all went on a bus tour recently. I missed it, and hopefully I make it the next one. I know you guys mentioned that it was very informative, and you all, got to see some of the areas and how we go from one, $1-million homes to across the street, the homes that are non-$1-million homes, and just saw the difference and whatnot, right?
And thank you for doing that. Go ahead, Kim.
And I do have one more comment. I want to acknowledge the Marquette Band Boosters that made a public gift donation, and that is to support their Trailer to Assist the Band program. So again, thank you to our parents and boosters out there that are supporting our schools.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. All right, 7.01, approval of the consent agenda. The motion is to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? The motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted is approved. This is my favorite part of the agenda, and we're going to hear from the American Heart Association presentation. It's a good one. It's in my heart, you know.
I know, that's right. All right, well, good evening, and thank you for having me here. My name is Jen Rogers, and I had the pleasure of working with all of your schools, or most of your schools this year, through our school engagement programs. So, oh, I get to do this, right? Okay. No. Which one do I hit? I'm sorry, which button? Did I do it backwards? You got it. Okay, we'll go to the next one. All right, so this year the American Heart Association is actually celebrating our 100th birthday. So we're very excited to share just a few things up here that we've accomplished over the last 100 years. When we work with our schools, we're building leaders in your community through your students, and as they go on to live those heart-healthy habits out, and then also be leaders by teaching everyone what they're doing. But the impact that our Rockwood has been a part of in these last 100 years that we have been doing is since 1999, just to point out a few things, deaths by stroke has been reduced by 37%. And one of the key factors is early detection on not having any results from having a stroke. My father-in-law had a few small strokes, and unfortunately my mother-in-law did not know the signs, so he's still with us today, but he definitely had some effects, you know, that he has going on today as well. But through Kids Heart Challenge, we're actually teaching your students the FAST. So everybody know what FAST is? Give me a little nod or no. Yeah, well, I'll tell you. It's look at your face, look at your arm, is your speech, and then time to call 911. So every year that your kids participate between Kids and American Heart Challenge, they're learning that so they can actually recognize those signs, teach other people, and possibly save a life. Collectively, the communities across the United States over the last 100 years, we have funded over $5 billion in research to cut cardiovascular disease in half. And Rockwood has been with us for so many years and been helping us for so many years. So they're a huge part of that very large number. So we'll go to the next one. All right, and then taking it nationally, Rockwood is a part of a huge picture, a bigger picture. So nationally, we work with over 16,000 schools, connecting with 14 million students, reaching out with 10 million families, and over 25,000 teachers. So working on that staff wellness with the schools and teaching the kids the importance of brain health, heart health, and social and emotional learning. And then we can go to the next slide, and where this is defining the need. We talk about the need every year and why it's important to have programs like this in your schools. Well, this is why. We kind of have a few points that kind of sums it up right there, but basically this is the why. When we work with administrators and principals and PE teachers, nurses, whoever wants to volunteer for us, we share the why. Why are we doing this? We talk about the children and the effects of that. We talk about anxiety and how mental well-being is so important for your middle schoolers and your high schoolers. And we, most of all, want to create a safer community by educating your students and their families about the life-saving skill of CPR. So we're creating muscle memory, and I'm taking this quote from a coworker of mine, but we're creating muscle memory. Do you all remember Stop, Drop, and Roll? But when we were young, like I thought everyone was going to catch on fire when I was in grade school. I never saw that in school, but that's what we want to create through CPR. We want that to be muscle memory for them to watch that video every year and just to go away from being a bystander into a lifesaver. So it's important that we work together and to have a lasting impact on the health and wellness of your students. Go to the next one. So taking it from the national level down to the local level in the state of Missouri, you can see the numbers up there. We're contacting and connecting with a lot of families. And the exciting thing is the participating schools, whether a student is able to raise donations or not, they're all receiving the education, they're all receiving the information and the resources. 100% of your students in these schools are definitely receiving that. So that is such a benefit to our program. And then we move on to the next slide, and this just highlights a little brag on your district. We had 15 schools participate this year. Over 10,000 students and families received the information about health and well-being. 167 Rockwood families learned the life-saving skill of hands-only CPR, so that's a goal this year. We'll be working on improving that, raising almost $70,000, and we invested back into the schools over $5,000 in what we call U.S. Games, where they could buy PE equipment, and then we also they get access to all free resources, lesson plans, different curriculum ideas, just to complement what they are already doing, and those are all free resources and materials given to the schools. And then this is a list of all the participating schools this year. So we had a good number of the elementaries and quite a few of the middle schools. Go ahead, next one. And here's a few bragging moments here. Werther Elementary, they were the #1 school in Rockwood and number 17 event in the state of Missouri. They raised over $15,000 this year. Ellisville Elementary and Pond both had an amazing year with $1,000 in growth or more over the previous year. And then I'm also so impressed by your middle school and high school participation. I work with other large districts in St. Louis, and you just don't see all the middle schools and even high school participating. So I'm very impressed with having their engagement. And then this is a video that talks about our why. And this is a little boy named Phil and his mom, and they're going to tell you guys a story. But this is where the American Heart Association, we were there for 5-year-old Phil and his mom when they came across a scary little incident when they were in church. So if you want to go ahead and play the video.
I was at church with my 5-year-old son Phil when we saw a man collapse. I thought for sure someone would get up to help him, but no one did. My son had immediately ran over to help him, and I followed him. Phil yelled for someone to call 911, and I started CPR right away. As I was doing the compressions, I remember him counting for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16. It felt like an eternity that I was doing CPR until the EMS had arrived. But thankfully, we saved his life. Phil turned to me and said, "Good job, Mom." If it wasn't for our school participating in the Kids Heart Challenge, we would not have been prepared to save someone's life. I had never done this before and I had no formal training. Phil and I had just learned hands-only CPR the week prior. His school had kicked off the Kids Heart Challenge and he came home so excited about it, and also serious about learning and watching the CPR video and Finn's mission. That night, we sat and watched the video a few times and we talked through it. Phil asked me so many questions because he knew this was important and he wanted to learn how to do CPR. I have honestly never been more proud of my son. I feel confident that if anything were to ever happen to me, my son would be prepared to help me. I'm grateful for the principal who said yes to this program, for the teachers who led it, and for the American Heart Association and their amazing programs. I think all schools should say yes to this program. These programs provide so many benefits to the school, staff, and families. And it just may save someone's life.
So I get goosebumps every time I watch that video. I think we saw a few tears, and we always plug and pull at the heartstrings. But when you bring Kids Heart Challenge and American Heart Challenge into your schools, your principals agree to it, your volunteers, they jump on board. It's a fun way to learn about heart health, brain health, and mental health for all ages. And we put an emphasis on physical activity, giving the students a chance to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves, giving them information about the dangers of vaping, kindness, and so much more. And most importantly, our main focus is getting CPR out into your families. And get that education out there year after year, so it becomes a habit and easy to do if they're ever in the situation. So next year, I'm excited to say, or actually we're this year, I guess, this school year, we already have 19 schools already committed to come to partner with us this year. We're excited to welcome back Blevins and Bowles, Kellison, and Wildwood Middle. So our goal is to partner with as many schools as possible in Rockwood, and so we'll be working to see if we can get some more schools on board and see how we can help. We have some new things this year, and one thing I'll just mention is our new SERP checklist, and it's a cardiac emergency response plan that we'll be talking to your principals about. And I know there was some legislation, I'm really not that good at that, but to know all the knowledge about it in Missouri, and I know they're working to get that passed. So we actually have a checklist and a group that we partner with called Project Adam that we could actually help your schools get that CERT plan in place. And that's pretty amazing thing for them to have to be prepared if something does happen. But finally, we'll go to the last slide. I just want to say thank you. You are such a supportive community, a supportive school district, and we appreciate you and all that you do for the mission of the American Heart Association. So thank you for giving me some time.
Thank you.
Hey Jen, who's the lady in red in the back?
Oh, I forgot about her. Okay. Oh, I get to talk over here. Sorry. So this is Cheryl. So over the summer, I got a little unexpected promotion. So I'm still will be involved in Rockwood, but Cheryl's going to become the new direct contact because I presented to you last year and this year, but now I'm turning the schools over to her. She's been with us for over 10 years, 11 years. She knows what she's doing. She works with Fort Zumwalt, which is always has been number one. So now we have, no, they have, well, no.
Rockwood was number one a few years back.
The last few years, they've been the number one. I'm sorry. But anyway, so she's got some great experience. So she'll be working with all your volunteers and your principals and things like that. So this is Cheryl Schnekoki.
Nice to meet you, Cheryl.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I forgot about that. That wasn't on my slide. Thank you.
I will say, I saw Dr. Marty today, and he is retiring, and his goal for this year, one of his goals is to beat Rockwood. This is what he said, so.
We'll see. Raising.
Hello.
Hi, this is Jacqueline Floyd, and this is 8.02. We have a proclamation for the National Suicide Prevention Month. And you want me to read the proclamation first?
Would you like me to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay.
I can do that. So the motion is to approve the Board of Education proclamation for the month of September. Motion is to approve that the Board of Education proclaims the month of September 2024 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the Rockwood School District. Motion?
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Now I will read the proclamation.
Thank you.
National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas September is recognized as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, the proclamation was created to raise the visibility of mental health and proactive suicide prevention resources in our community, to share a message of hope and healing, and to recognize that everyone has a role to play in preventing suicide. And whereas suicide affects people regardless of age, gender, or background. According to the CDC, suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 through 24 and 24 through 34, with more than 49,000 people dying by suicide annually in the United States in 2022. And whereas, with each individual death by suicide having a far-reaching direct impact on family members, friends, service members, and social media connections, we can assume that everyone has been impacted by suicide. And whereas the Rockwood School District is no different than any other community in the country, and chooses to publicly state and place our full support behind educators, mental health professionals, coaches, community leaders, first responders, and parents as partners in supporting our community. And whereas local and national organizations like the St. Louis Regional Suicide Prevention Coalition, CHADS, Coalition for Mental Health, and the National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI, continues to raise awareness and provide education and training to support suicide-safe communities. Whereas help and support are available 24/7 via phone call, text, or chat from the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Dial or text 988 and to be connected to a crisis center or chat at 988lifeline.org for people struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts. And for everyone who is concerned about a loved one or simply someone they know. And whereas Rockwood School District continues to support, number one, services provided by the student response teams in each school to support our children and youth, and the continued partnering with parents to offer resources and referrals for students in the need of mental health supports. Two, the implementation of evidence-based suicide prevention programs, such as the Science of Suicide Prevention Program, SOS, that teaches participants in the symptoms of depression, signs of suicide, and the importance of telling a trusted adult. Three, ongoing professional learning for all staff to identify and respond to at-risk students, and the continuing implementation of evidence-based suicide screening tools by trained student response team members for students in crisis. Four, partnership with professional organizations and community agencies. Five, efforts to develop resiliency, protective factors, and other social-emotional competencies. And six, strategies to engage parents as partners in effective prevention. And whereas we encourage all staff, students, family, and community members to recognize the power of connection and support. You can bring hope for brighter days by reaching out. You are not alone. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the BOE do hereby proclaim the month of September 2024 as the National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the Rockwood School District.
Yay! No. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lynn. I want to see every year how long I can get these for you. No, I'm kidding. I do want to say, well, first of all, welcome to the new board. This is my first time sitting in front of you guys, and so hello, my name is Jacqueline. I am glad to be here, and thank you guys. Thank you for taking the time to read the proclamation. When we're looking at our proclamations, all the key things, community awareness, outlining what the concern is, what are we doing as a district, those are all things that are so vital in our proclamation, and we're doing a lot, my friends. This has been a summer of suicide prevention education. So I have been meeting, I have met with all our building administrators, our central leadership team in the spring. I've met with all building admin this summer, all our brand new ones, going over policy and regulation 1412, the forms, and specific things for admin that how they support families, really kind of highlighting those specific things and providing support around that. Today, I was with school counselors for the morning and the afternoon doing that same thing. And tomorrow morning in this room at 8:30 a.m., it will be with all the school nurses, all the school social workers, and the rest of our SPED social workers, and our social emotional specialists. So we are making sure that we are hitting the ground, trained, and ready for the start of the school year on Monday. So I'm excited. I'm getting a lot of really positive feedback on our updated trainings and forms, and so I'm excited. Questions for me?
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It is so vital and important for our staff, for our students to have this information, have this knowledge, have your support, your team support. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys.
Any further discussion? So the motion is to approve that the Board of Education proclaim the month of September 2024 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the Rockwood School District. All in favor by signifying by yes?
Yes.
Any opposed? That motion carries. 8.03, procurement card update. Brenda Kirchhofer is going to join us. But the motion is to approve Superintendent Designee to continue to manage the FY25 P-Card program as presented. Discussion. Brenda?
All right, thank you. Good evening. You have, do we need to switch? There we go.
This one's a lot more reliable.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. All right. So tonight's presentation will be an overview of the P-Card program from last year, from 23-24. Bank of America is our current provider. We've been using them for several years. Their program has worked out well for us. They offer features like a single tool to manage our reporting. They have extension reporting features that we can use for our auditors when they request any sort of information from us. And then they also have a robust rebate program. At the end of the last fiscal year, we had 239 cards available for staff. This number fluctuates slightly through the year as the cards are open and closed due to changes in department needs and employee attrition. In previous years, we had more than 500 cards in the district, but over time, we've been able to streamline the program to reduce the number of cards through consolidation. There are two types of cards that we have available to staff. Department cards are available for multiple staff members and are managed by a lead employee in the schools who is responsible for managing and reconciling the card. The lead staff member verifies the budget is in place for a requested purchase, documents who the card is checked out to, and the purpose of the transaction, and ensures and receipts are returned in a timely manner. Individual cards are assigned to employees when their job responsibilities require them to have sole use of a card, and these are primarily used for facilities and child nutrition Adventure Club facilitators. We closely manage all of the activity on the P-cards by the following processes. First, each card is set up with a single transaction limit and a monthly limit that aligns with the department and individual needs. These spending profiles are consistent among groups and individuals within the departments. All temporary changes to the card strategies are tracked and reported in the system and can be retrieved for auditing purposes. The overall spending on each card is reviewed annually, and if necessary, monthly credit limits are modified. Purchases are restricted by a vendor's merchant category code, which prevents cards from being used for prohibited products or services. And then lastly, each P card is checked to ensure receipts are attached, no sales tax was paid, and the charges were for official school business. And then lastly, we randomly pull about 10 cards every month just for an additional level of oversight. So this is the graph has the spending per month that we had last year. So we had a total of around 5.8 P card purchases. We had just over 3 million in e-payables. And then all of that resulted of our rebate of $124,688. Any questions? It goes back into general operating, yes.
Any further discussion? Again, the motion is to approve the superintendent designee to continue to manage the FY25 P card program as presented. All in favor signify by yes.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you.
8.04 Communication Program Update. Discussion only with Mary LePack. Marvelous Mary, award-winning.
Good morning. Good morning. Wow, it's been a long day. Good evening. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity to share about what the Communications Department has been up to over the course of the past year. There we go. So this is our team. David, Chris, Curtis, Tara, Kate, Andrew, and Regina. Combined, we have a total of 85 years of experience in school PR, and each of these individuals are phenomenal at what they do and do outstanding work every day. So there's a great deal of information we can use to help guide our communication efforts, how, when, and where people consume information. We can glean where people stand through our two-way communication channels like social media, as well as website visits and survey results, just to name a few. Over the past year, the Communications Department has posted 350 stories that have resulted in hundreds of good news stories in print and electronic versions. This includes regular series such as Forever Rockwood, which features alumni who make a lasting impact on their communities. Other series include Senior Spotlight and a video series, Faces of Rockwood, which ties in nicely with our hiring campaign. Rockwood was the feature or front page story 14 times in the Eureka Leader, 5 times in the Post-Dispatch, and 3 times in West News Magazine. The 3 major television stations shared 54 inspiring good news or informational stories related to Rockwood and 15 stories that reflected poorly on the district over the past year. This compares to the previous year, 28 positive and 27 negative, so we feel like we're trending in the right direction. We continue to increase engagement across all our social media channels, adding followers across the board. For both Facebook and Instagram, our target audience is about 80% female between the ages of 35 and 54. Our primary active followers on Facebook are parents. On X, it's typically staff members. And generally on Instagram and YouTube, our primary active followers are students. The Rockwood Facebook page is updated Monday through Friday, and the page has more than 26,000 followers, over 900 more than this time last year, and the most of any school district in St. Louis County. The level of engagement on certain types of posts helps us generate content that resonates with our patrons. Over the past year, for example, our highest reaching post was shockingly, the debut of Little Dr. Kane on a snow day. The second highest reaching post was about Lafayette's Natalie Bernard winning the Class 5 track and field championship. It was only her 5th state title, by the way. Little Dr. Kane took a back seat to Rockwood Summit's AD Mitch Lefkowitz for the highest reaching post on X. This year, when Mitch was voted the St. Louis AD of the Year by his peers, Little Dr. Kane's snow day announcement was the second highest reaching post. On the One Rockwood X account, the highest reaching post was about Eureka High Secretary Cindy Hirsch receiving a Cornerstone Award, followed by Dr. David Artledge being named High School Assistant Principal of the Year by the St. Louis Association of Secondary School Principals. Then we have the Superintendent's X account. The highest post was a snow day and the return of Little Dr. Kane. So the same post on Instagram tends to garner more engagement than on Facebook, so we've made a concerted effort to share more on this platform. Also, video does very well on this platform compared to regular posts. It's not surprising, since students tend to be on Instagram, that the snow days were the top 2 posts on the platform, followed by an Instagram takeover by Eureka High School students featuring football highlights. Rockwood's YouTube channel has 3,595 subscribers, 188 more than this time last year. There have been 113 videos posted that have been viewed over 23,700 times over the past year. Videos with the most views, other than board meetings, meet the candidate forums, and graduation ceremonies, include the end of the year video we shared in May and our video with students explaining about the solar eclipse and how to safely view it. District e-news goes out once a week during the school year, and we have an overall view rate of 63.6%, which is about twice the industry standard of 34%. Last year, David Morrison started sending 2 versions of e-news, one targeting parents and staff and one student-centered version, which did result in a significant jump in student views. We actually saw over a 17% increase in student open rates with the student version. The top viewed edition for parents and staff version was the Welcome Back to School edition on August 21st last year. The top viewed student edition was on April 22nd, when the top story was the board extending Dr. Kane's contract. 5 Things You Need to Know is our staff newsletter that is shared once a week during the school year. Andrew Shin works with all departments to generate the 5 most important items for staff to know each week. By limiting it to 5 key things each week, we aim to encourage staff to look for it as a source of timely and important information. The average open rate for 5 things is 65%, up from 61% last year. And you can see the top viewed editions include our Welcome Back issues, as well as praise for our payroll department, Prop 3 information, and our State Teacher of the Year finalist. Also this year, in response to our employee experience survey, we heard from our employees that they wanted to hear more directly from Cabinet, and so we started a Cabinet connection. Really what they were asking for is the why behind some of our decisions, so we were happy to do that. We started in April, was our first edition, and that first edition had an open rate of 82%. So we will continue to use that form of communication. We launched our new website through Final Site in December. You can see the highest visited pages, the homepage, district calendars, counseling, and our HR landing page for applicants was the 4th highest visited page this year. So we just finished our 2nd year of utilizing Parent Square for our mass notifications, which includes but does not require a free app that features customization for parents who want up-to-date information for their child's school and the district. The tool is a safe way for teachers, parents, and students to send direct messages, and parents can choose how they receive the information, either by email, text, or app notification. They also have the ability to have email notifications sent immediately or batched together at the end of the day. The majority of our parents have opted to receive email notifications. As you can see, 98%, 54% have opted for app notifications, and 9% have opted to receive text messages. The district has the ability to override these options in an emergency so that all means of communication can be used to reach our students, staff, and parents. Over the course of the past year, there were over 331,700 direct messages. That is up from over 269,000 last year. That's a great indication that our students, staff, and parents are using the tool for direct messaging versus other platforms where we do not have agreements to protect our data. More than, and this has actually gone up since the slide was done, more than 15,200 parents have downloaded the Parent Square app, which is about 68% of our parents, and will continue to encourage doing so as we head into the new school year. Community survey was a battery of 32 questions about communications, district culture, innovative opportunities for students, finances, and resource stewardship, as well as overall opinion of the district. It was shared multiple times across all communication channels, including social media, Parent Square, and text messages between April 21st and May 28th. We did have fewer respondents this year, a total of 3,054. Broken down, that's 2,376 parents, 296 staff, 210 parent and staff members, 56 community members, and 158 students. Our team does take a deep dive each year into the comments related to communications, and some common themes are that there is a lot coming their way. We want more specific school information. We want more information about district finances and academic programs available to students, and we want to only receive information that pertains to us, which is why we always try to target who receives what, because we know there's a lot to digest, whether you're a student, staff member, or a parent. We also included questions specific to Parent Square this year, and 87% of the respondents agreed that having teacher, school, and district communication in one place is convenient and helpful. And because of this community feedback, we developed a series of videos that, from a child's perspective, helps parents understand some of the features that maybe they didn't know about in Parent Square. If you would.
What did Dad say you wanted for dinner?
You know his favorite, breakfast for dinner. Mom, you got that?
So how's violin going again?
Mom.
I'm sorry, I just have so much stuff going on. I feel so disorganized.
You know there's a way to send your notifications to Parent Square? Rockwood calls it Digest in 5.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Do you know how to set it?
Yeah. You click these lines up here, then you go to account, next, notifications. Oh, your app is set to instant. Don't worry, I could change it to digest. And there, all your notifications will go to you at 6.
All of the information comes to my email at 6?
Yep.
Whoa, that was easy. Thanks, buddy. So how's violin going?
So in addition to the video series, we are sharing information in person at places like Meet Me in St. Louis, open houses, and back to school nights as well. Kate Moore and Chris Bennett have taken the lead on that, and they are assisting parents with things like downloading the app, setting language and notification preferences, and showing them some other features in Parent Square they may not have known about. Oops, sorry. Additional outreach efforts include everything from employee recognition, board awards, being a liaison between President's Forum and our schools. We coordinate the annual giving campaign for United Way, and we organize the annual Rose Awards banquet. To ensure we are reaching all community members, we send out Rockwood News twice a year to over 47,000 homes to share the great things happening in our schools, as well as information about the annual report. Over the past year, we've had 2 long-term communication campaigns, one for Proposition 3 in the fall, and the hiring campaign for support staff positions that continues thanks to your vote this evening. These are team efforts that involve every member of the communications team, and I'm extremely proud of each of their contributions to make these campaigns successful. And then finally, speaking of the communications team, our stories, newsletters, photos, and videos have received multiple accolades, both at the state level through the Missouri School Public Relations Association, as well as the National School Public Relations Association. We won a National Golden Achievement Award for our work on the informational campaign for Prop 3, and a State Award of Excellence for our work on the annual report to the community. Each member of our team is talented in their area of expertise. Their work is highly regarded in school PR circles, and they are devoted to Rockwood and sharing the great things happening here for kids. And happy to answer any questions you may have.
So what I'm hearing is that we need more snow days.
And a little Dr. King.
It's August. Like,
Mary, I'm not an Insta person. What does it mean when you say student takeover? What does that mean?
We actually create a password for the day, and we let them take over the, yes, yep. We've done that a few times, and it's gone very, very well. We obviously have a conversation about what's appropriate and what's not, but the students have been very professional, done a fantastic job, and those are always very well received.
Your department is amazing. I mean, when you look at the quality of what you all produce, how quickly it's produced, the magnitude of what it's produced, your reach, just thank you so much for leading them. I know it's a team effort, and you know, I feel as a parent in this district very fortunate to see what you share about what our kids and our staff are doing. So thank you.
It's really an honor for us to do it, and the team is remarkable.
They are. They're so kind and so patient.
And that video reminds me of another video a long time ago with a little kid, and it just cracks me up. So it was darling.
It's like exciting to see professionalism. We'll see it on TV. It's like, that's Rockwood. That's us. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
And you have to also take care of the day-to-day crises and things that come up, and questions and requests.
So maybe a couple comments if I could. First off, I just want to throw out there that in the 15 months I've been on the board, I am continually amazed by what you do every time you come to address us. So I don't know what you're going to do for the next 2.5 year, or 2.5 years, I guess, but keep it up. Also, I would like to propose a motion that if she needs some kind of amnesty for how many times she mentioned little Dr. King, I think the board should grant her protection for that. But on a serious note, as you look at what's been trending in the Post-Dispatch with us, first off, a great transition over the last year. But do you think, are we leading them with positive stories that they're picking up? Or are we following them saying, oh, they found something great, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we try really hard. We have foster relationships with all the reporters. We have great relationships with the reporters at the Post-Dispatch. And when we want to float some good stories, we know who to reach out to. So yes, we're absolutely doing that.
Well, then all I can say is well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say that I'm also very impressed with how you tailor your communication to your audience so well. I think that's really important so that families don't get overwhelmed with the information that they're getting. I feel like I'm getting just-in-time information every week, and I do the digest just like that young man.
Wonderful.
Yes, 6 o'clock.
Wonderful. And we do understand, especially families that have multiple students at multiple schools, it can be a lot, but we try really hard to do that.
One last comment I would make, leveraging off something you said, which is one of the highest things people said they wanted more data on, if I recall correctly, was our financials.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things we might want to think about as a board here is, I think we provide more data than you can shake a stick at about our financials in our board meetings. But there's a difference between data and information. So if people are still responding that way, I think we need to take a look at, we're providing a lot of data, but not something the community is digesting as information. So we might want to think about how do we turn that more, maybe less data, but maybe more information.
Sure. School finance is complicated,
Mm-hmm.
so anytime we can break that down for folks, we certainly try to do that.
I think that'll help once you figure out the mechanism for the Prop 3 funds. As we start reporting that out, I think that'll help with that as well.
I do have a question back to, the finances and whatnot. Do you think we are reaching our constituents that don't have any kids in the district?
We try very hard to do that with that Rockwood News that goes to twice a year to 47,000 homes. All of our information that's the big bullet points in our annual report is in that mailing. So yes, we do try really hard to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are now at 9.01, proposed agenda for the September 5th, 2024 Board of Education meeting. There it is. We will be starting the evening with our student advisory group, which, looking forward to that. It will be a busy agenda. 9.02, future agenda presentations and events to attend. I'm going to repeat it again. It's going to be busy, especially on Monday. It's a great busy. It's just a great busy. So we're very fortunate to be able to have access and to get out and be part of our community and share all the great things that are happening in the Rockwood district. So, without any further ado, this meeting is adjourned.